to today's Hooray, It's Thursday live with Courtney, and today we actually are live. I'm coming to you from the beautiful Central Coast from my usual space. Okay. Hope you all had a fabulous Easter last weekend, and it's another 4-day weekend this weekend. Stay safe on the roads, all of those sorts of things. Just make sure there'll be plenty of time for crafting after you've had a nap from going to the dawn service tomorrow morning. Okay, so this week we are looking at the Botanical Textures Suite. It is an online exclusive bundle as well as, and it has suite products to go with it. What you'll find is that it's available currently in the Stampin' Up store, and I can tell you when I go back that there is 2 packets of designer series paper. There's a stamp and a die bundle. There is ribbon. There is matte dots, the whole kit and caboodle, and a embossing folder. Now, if you want to purchase the whole lot in one go, it's $176, but you can get all the different parts separately. So I am missing one packet of paper because I did get all the different parts separately. I really like the black and white paper because then you can add any other color to it. So I'm going to show you a few things today with a few different mixed colors. So we're going to have a play, and yeah, we'll just see how it pans out. What do you reckon? I haven't cut anything today. Hi, Lowell. How you going? I haven't cut anything today. We're just going to see how we go. Okay. So I'll just make this screen bigger. These are all the goodies that I'm playing with. All right. So we've got, all right, we'll just go live over here. That's working. Okay. So what we've got in our suite, we've got matte dots. So they're not shiny, they're smooth and they're flat. We've got a really cool plain white ribbon. It's soft, it's cotton. Oh, sorry, it says 100% polyester on the back, but yeah, it's a soft cotton, it's a soft ribbon with a bit of texture. It's actually quite an unusual texture. So quite a big weave on that. It's about, what does it say? There's 9 meters in here, but it looks like it's about 1/2 centimeter wide, and I'm going to say it's probably 1/4 inch from their perspective. Yeah, 1/4 inch or 6.4 millimeters. Okay. This here is the embossing folder that goes with it. It is a corrugated embossing folder, and what I found, we had one of these a few years back, and it used to break the paper. This one doesn't do it. So it's a 3D one, so you get it's quite thick, and you get quite a really good embossing from it. I haven't decided if we're using that today, but look at this stamp set. So this is the stamp set that comes with this bundle. So we've got the textured notes there. It's like essentially it's like a thank you set. These are the dies. Ta-da! Look at those. They're all different size rectangles, okay? And they're all different patterns. How fabulous are those? So it doesn't cut out your leaves. It doesn't do any of that sort of stuff, but they're just beautiful. They've got a really nice little edge on each different one. There's a couple that are the same, but not very many of them. So we'll use those as well. I do have my cut and emboss machine here beside me. And it is a red rubber stamp. It's not put together. I'll be using it as is, just so that you don't need to watch me put them together. There's plenty of videos online on my channel if you're not sure how to put a stamp set together. So I haven't decided what we're using out of those yet, but let's have a sticky at this paper and see what inspiration we get from it. I haven't opened it up yet. This is the paper for class this weekend for those that are coming to class. And hey, this might actually be one of the cards because I know what I'm doing and I think, oh, you guys are going to like it. Just saying, you know, as it is. All right, so I'll take that out of that plastic bag. So we've got 12 sheets, double-sided paper, as we normally do. And as we go through, we're going to decide, it's all black and white, okay? Black, white, grey. So you can add any colour with it. So we'll decide as we go through what I'm going to use. Oh, there you go. I already know we are using this piece here. Okay, we're going to use some of that piece. Oh, I do like the back of that. Get a look at that. Oh, it'd be nice with some blending on that. And then we've got this piece. and the back of that one. So again, like I said, it's black. These are going to be great for scrapbook pages. Kate, if you're around, you're going to love this paper if you haven't already got it. Nice. So it's all very watercolory, very textural, and very, if I do say so myself, very, very nice. Oh, I like this too. It's like understated lines. It's just pretty. If you wanted to, you could sit and color all these and cut them out, but I'm not going to do that to you today. You don't want to see that. And I really like that piece too. So what it's looking like for me is there's some really quite white pieces and there's some really quite dark pieces. So we are definitely going to use this piece today. And actually, I think that's probably the only, no, let's use this piece. Okay. So we're going to use this piece today. And we'll go from there, okay? So I'll just pop all the other side pieces aside. Now, if you go looking, I have popped a link in the description box. If you're on YouTube or if you're on Facebook, those on Instagram, I will pop back and I'll send you one later. Otherwise, you can go to the Stampin' Up store and have a look and search for Botanical Textures. It will come up. The other designer series paper is all neutrals in browns and like our suede colours. They go with these, essentially it goes with these dots, okay? Because it's very earthy. All right, so I've brought over some basic white as my main. So we're going to do essentially a black, white, and another couple of colours. So don't mind my paper trim. I was arguing with it earlier, so we'll see how it goes cutting now. So like I normally do, I'll just cut that 6 by 6 there and pop that to the side because I don't need that bigger piece. This piece here, I'm going to make it, my card front ends up 10.5. So this is going to be 10 by 14.4. So it sits with a little bit around my card, with my, you know, a little bit of a white edge around it. Now, it's up to you whether you thieve from here. You can if you want to be frugal with the paper, or you just buy another packet, okay? Both sides of this will work, okay? And don't get rid of this little piece here because we are going to use it later, okay? Just saying, all right? So just be aware that you put it to the side. We'll use some more of this paper as well, and we could probably end up using another piece. What you do with this, if you want to thieve from it, now's a good time to do it, and you literally just cut a piece out, or you can use your dies and you can cut using your dies, okay? And especially these ones because they've got such pretty edges. But I'm not going to do that at the minute. Actually, what I will do, because it's a white card base, I am going to do a second one. Nearly forgot, because I do need one for my inside as well. All right. And again, I'm going to keep that piece because I will want to use that. So because it's a white card base, I am going to add an extra layer just because I can. So essentially our white piece for our inside is going to sit on that, and that is going to sit on the inside of our card. So you can see what I mean when I say that you can thieve from underneath here if you want, okay? The only person who will know will be you unless they hold the card up to the light, and then they'll see through it. So got my envelope, got a scrap piece of basic white as well as those other pieces. This one here is basic white thick. Just cut in half like I normally do from our A4 piece. If you're overseas where they use letter size, I just cut this piece in half and I get 2 cards out of it. So you do the size that suits you and tweak it down to whatever suits you. So this piece here is actually going to sit straight on there. And you can see it just provides like a little bit of a border all the way around. And I am going to stick it down right now. Actually, you know what? No, I'm not, because I need some drying time. All right. Yep, we've got some water to play with today. So I am moving these out of the way. Now, with this stamp set, there's some really, the leaves are really pretty. There's this nice textural basket weave, but you are seriously the best. A little note of appreciation. That is a nice sentiment for if you're making something to just to send to someone to say hello or whatever. Now, I just put those away. Where do I want them? Where did I put them? I had, this is what I want. Okay. And I'm going to bring in some extras. So we've got a couple of color combinations. So I know my Arnie's there. Hello, which color combination? This is color combination 1. That there is Darling Duckling and Strawberry Slush. That is 2 of our new colors. Or we can swap out Strawberry Slush for Timid Tiger. So combination 1, and if so, which ones? Combination 2, I've got Azure Afternoon or Blueberry Bushel. And combination 3, it's not going to, oh, dark one on the bottom. Combination 3 is not going to really be able to tell how it's going to end up looking. We've got Highland Heather and Fresh Freesia. So if anyone would like to vote while I grab a couple more pieces of paper, just because it gives you a chance to do so, because I'll do a few of them so that you can see, and then I'm going to have to dry them. So block D is my favorite size block for this. Okay, so you'll need a block D. It's an average size block. It's going to fit quite nicely up here. Now, what I will show you is on our dies, block D fits the best in this one. Okay, so if I just move number 1, well, really, lol, I'm not surprised because there's pink in it. All right, block D will fit in there quite nicely. Okay, which means we can do this and then we can cut out our piece and we can have a larger border. Okay, because as you will see, this here will fit very nicely in, I'll push it up a bit, in there. Okay, so that is what we're going to do. All right. But we're going to do that after we've dried it. Okay, so we'll just put this to the side. Lol would like, Lol or Laurie, as you guys can see her on there, if you can see where she's commenting, would like combination number 1, and I'm going to guess that she would like Strawberry Slush and Darling Duckling. Strawberry Slush and Timid Tiger will also work. Actually, you know what? I'll see your, I'm going to raise it. I'm going to do that. Let's do that one first. Okay. So I've got a piece of basic white, just plain regular paper. It doesn't do our water, it doesn't like our water very much. So I also have here one of our spritzers. These are a bargain. They work out as less than about $5 each. Always great to, if you want to push that order over that little bit just to move into the next thing. We've got free shipping today. So if you were just looking for something to shove you over that $65, you would very easily be able to get over it. Just, you can add something a little extra. These and glue seem to be the 2 that I like to do. I am going to literally make my block a stamp. So I'm going to put some Timid Tiger. Oh gosh, I'm putting a lot of Timid Tiger on there. I don't think we need that much Timid Tiger. It's very, very juicy because it's still a very new stamp pad. All right, so let's just.
Cup of tea's arriving.
Oh, cup of tea's here. You guys all got your cup of tea? I haven't got black pants on today, so I can't wipe the spoon on my pants. Oh, that's a bit better. Okay, so we've got some Timid Tiger. Now, we're also going to do some Strawberry Slush. Now, it is important here that you don't mess up your ink pad. All right, and you don't join those lines together. Always put the lighter colour on first, just in case. But you want to make sure there's no joining of that line because you don't want that mess. That doesn't really work. If you decide that you want to join them a little bit, you can use your finger, you can use a dauber, you can use a blending brush to come in and just push them around a bit, just to make it so that that line is not there. Okay, and that will stop you from getting, what's the word, contaminated ink pads. Now what I'm going to do, make sure you're aiming your spritzer in the right direction. I'm going to move that piece of paper just because I can, and you are going to spritz over the top of your block. Doesn't need a lot, just needs a little bit. Okay, and then what we're going to do, because we've got our glass mat, we can do it here. We're going to just dry that a bit. I'm just going to move this around a little bit, just because I can. Bring my piece of paper back in. Now, it's really important that you get it straightish. I want my Timid Tiger at the top, so I'm just going to whip it over and I'm going to squelch it down on there. And you'll see the ink has gone onto my piece of paper. There's barely any ink left on my block. And then I'm just going to pop that to the side. Okay? So that's Timid Tiger and Strawberry Slush. Let's do the Darling Duckling and Strawberry Slush. So you can do a few varieties until you find one that you like. Okay? This is a very unusual yellow. It's sort of, and you'll notice the block is bigger in one direction than it is in the other. Okay, so just be aware of that when you're doing this technique, especially if we're going to go, we want it to fit quite nicely in here. This was the end that we, oh, look how wet that is. The moisture comes back with a vengeance straight away. All right, we'll just join them together a bit. Get another piece of paper here. Find my spritzer. And depending on what colour combination you use will depend on what you do. All right? The greens look really nice together. The blues look really nice together. They're colours that are light at one side and dark at the other, they look nice together. Move it around, squelch it around a bit until you get like a, it's like it gives you like a watercolour look. But you'll notice that this paper will suck it straight up and take it off the block. Okay? So we're going to end up with a variety here. Okay? All right. And just because we can, I'll show you what the purples look like. So Highland Heather is my darkest of the two. These ink pads are older, so they're not as moist, which is why I essentially picked these ones. So I don't need to squelch them. So I'm going to put, I've made it a bit bigger than what I'm going to do with the, so that's Fresh Freesia, and we've got Highland Heather. I've got, oh, my Highland Heather is very dry, but it's going to work still. Re-ink that before the weekend. Okay, so we've got Fresh Freesia down this end and Highland Heather up this end. I'm going to spritz that. And you'll see when there's less ink on it, it sort of pulls a bit. What do I do with this? Love that noise. Okay, and a card. I'm going to put the light at the top, dark at the bottom. Doesn't matter which way you go. Whoopsie, a bit damp. And this one's going to look completely different because there's less, I don't know, the water and the ink sort of spread a bit differently. All right, and you can only see ever so slightly that colour change. So like I said, it depends on what you like. It looks like there's a tornado or a cyclone or something. Okay, shall we do the blue one just so that you can see the different colours? Okay, blue ones. Blueberry Bushel is our dark. Azure Afternoon is the one that I'm picking as our light. Okay, these are a bit more juicy. Oh, are they ever? Okay. Look at those two together. This one will be perfect if we were doing something with the sea creatures or some coral or something like that, which we're not, but you know, that's okay. I'll end up with a variety of these. Got my piece of cardstock and I've put my spritzer down over here. Okay. Oh, look. Oh my gosh, I've got ink absolutely everywhere. See how it's got some blue dots on it? All right, we're going to make that work. That was the one I was thinking of using. Okay. And turn it over. Ah, I've got ink everywhere. Make it straight. And there's a bit of ink still left on here, so I might just see if I can put that in there. No, can't. But you can see what I mean. That would be perfect for, oh my gosh, you should see my fingers. Okay. Look at that. Going out for dinner. I look like a Smurf. Oh, okay. But I've got blue ink absolutely everywhere over here because it's like splattered everywhere when I sprayed that one. So we'll just get all that out of the way. Okay, so this here has now got some blue splattering on it. So I think we'll use this one because the blue isn't really going to cut it for what I want to do. Okay, now it is still quite damp. You can use your heat tool to dry it, and I will do because I do want to stamp on it straight away. And if I stamp on that straight away, it will bleed. So talk amongst yourselves while I do this. Because you won't be able to hear me over it, I don't believe. Okay? Turn it over if you need to. Just, we want it really dry. Look, my paper's starting to curl. Turn it back. Okay, and this purple one. And there's that blue. You can see where I put that, where I dropped that spot. That would be fabulous. How good would that look with a sailing boat or a lighthouse or something like that? So, okay. So you do need to dry them a bit. Okay, and your heat tool is perfect for drying them. It's just another way to use it. Now, if you've got the new Stampin' Up! Heat tool, it's got a, oops, it's got a not so hot and then a hot. It's got the two different settings, so that feels sick. Oh, look at that. Okay, don't mind me, guys. All right, so this is the Botanical Textures Suite. So just so that you know, Botanical Textures, and we're playing with a bit of water and a bit of, what's this stuff called? Ink. So I'm really liking these leaves. I really like both sets of leaves, and I do love this sentiment. So I'll use that like I did last time. Now, it's up to you. It's a fairly, what's the word for it? Fairly cool technique that you can then make any sort of silhouette stamp will work. Okay, so where's that block gone? That's not big enough. So we need block E for it. And I'll put my words on the other side. I'm going to cut it out first because I need to know exactly where it's going to land. Okay, so I'll just bring these pieces in because these are the ones that we need to use. Okay. All right, and I'll just shove this through here. Now, ladies that come to class know I never shove it through my cut and emboss square. I always tilt it to the side. And the reason why I do that is because I'm a bit wonky, but also it seems to go through just that little bit better. This is where it can be a little bit forgiving if you've stamped your block a little bit crooked, because you can actually make it work. Whereas if you've gone crooked and you were keeping it at that size, or you'd already cut it out, it's tough like that's what you get. Okay. All right. And let me show you this texture. It's just so nice. Can you see that around the edge there? How cool does that look? All right. Okay, so when I bring this back in over here, the reason why I didn't adhere it, because I thought, oh, hold on a second, I might want to do something else with it, was because I wanted to wait and see what happened when I did that. I wanted to know if I was going to end up with too much white space or not. Here she is. Hello, Mabelicious. Hi. She's come to say hello. I wanted to see if I ended up with too much black on it, or if I needed some more, or if it needed some different texture. And I actually think it's going to look pretty smick. It would also look nice if you had either a strawberry slush, or in this case, timid tiger border around underneath, or even a card base from those colours. Okay.
Why are your fingers blue if you've been working?
Because I've been playing with lots of different colours, and one of them was blue, so I'm a bit of a Smurf. Okay. All right. So what we're going to do now is I'll just move all these pieces back to the side because I can.
Hey, look, there's a duck.
have anyone in, there's a duck. It's number 33 because do you know what? There was 100 ducks.
There was 126.
126 ducks that we came home to. It was so very exciting, and
so
they
fun.
thought that they were the funniest things ever.
It is.
Yeah, hilarious. We're still finding ducks from months and months ago. Yeah. So yeah, that one I found in my printer. Okay. Anyway, all right. So what I'm going to do now. It's like the video attracts them. You know, I don't know. When they're little, the phone would attract them. Now the video does. You just, yeah. If I want to see one of my kids, I turn on the video. Okay, so I've just stamped that with some, I've just put some memento on it. It's a really pretty stamp. It's a textural stamp. It's lovely. It doesn't have a die to cut it out, but it is a very easy one to fussy cut if you are a fussy cut fan, because I say that because I know I have some people that aren't. And look at that. How fabulous does that look on there? If I do say so myself. It is just, and it doesn't matter what color you stamped it on. Or, yeah, this one might bleed. But that's okay because I'm not overly excited about these two colours. They look the same. I should have gone with Gorgeous Grey. But anyway, it even looks fabulous on our two purple tones. Okay, so it's really up to you. You can use any colour you like. It would look fabulous on here, but I'm thinking I might put a turtle on here. Did you watch the turtles last week? I think one of those turtles would look amazing on here. And... oh, hold on, was Turtles last week or was no, Turtles was my surprise extra. I don't think I've got Turtles still on the table. I don't. So I can't show you a turtle on it. Anyway, I'm pulling too many things in at once. Okay, so what I do have here, there to go. Here, come back, is my sentiment. So we'll do our sentiment at the same time. You do need a long block for the sentiment. Because it's a nice long sentiment, and I am going to stamp it again in the memento because I think I'm just going to carry through with that black. So I'm going to hold my tongue right and hope this is straight because I didn't turn my piece of cardstock, which it's not. Okay, turn your piece of cardstock cork because then you know that it potentially will work out straight. How much difference is that? Ta-da, as they say. I'll just take that sentiment off there. What I will do is I will do my envelope at the same time and my piece for my inside, which I think I pinched from before. All right. So there's that one and an inside, just so that they match. Envelope, inside, and now I've got a nice big black smudge here, so we need a wipe to get rid of that because that will end up all over me and all over everything else, I'm sure, as you all know. I'll just pop that back on there. Okay, stick those to the side. Now we do need to trim up that sentiment because at the moment it is quite big. If you want to fussy cut around it, you can, but you can bring your trimmer in. The trimmer does beautiful ultra skinny trimming. So I can go like so and trim that. And then we'll have a sneaking suspicion we might, oh no, it doesn't cut off the bottom of that Y. And trim that, okay? Up to you whether you have straight edges or you flag them, or even if you just cut them on an angle, the choice is yours. If you decide to cut them on an angle and you want the other angle to match, what you do is you use the piece that you've cut off and you can put it on here, and then you can actually trim against it. It's better if you cut a bigger piece off, just so that you get the same angle. Okay. All right. And it's that side. Okay, put a little cross on that side because that's not the side we want. So that's going to be our inside. Let's just stick the inside in. A little note of, we're going to pop a little note of, actually, you're simply the best, it says on the front. And I'm just going to put thank you on the inside of that. Okay. If you like to fussy cut, you can keep these pieces and trace around them, or you can trace around the inside of your block, or inside of your rubber around your sentiment so that you can cut it out. Now, because we've got Strawberry Slush and Timid Tiger on the front here, I'm going to go with Strawberry Slush and okay, now the trick is, because I don't have my sticker on here, so I don't know which way it's written. So I'm just going to turn it over and line it up on the block here. Because it's such an unusual shaped stamp, and I really would like it to stamp relatively straight. There we go. That's in our Strawberry Slush. If you don't get it straight, that's fine. Turn it over and do it on the other side. Okay, no biggie. All right. Let me just glue those pieces together. You all know how to do this. You don't need me to tell you. But less is best with this glue. Okay. And try not to put it all over your fingers like I just did. That piece is going to sit quite nicely in there. And just give it a little bit of a edge around it, which will match our front once we've actually got it together. So we'll pop this piece in here. Okay. And that piece is going to go into here. And this is going to make our card a lot more stable, a lot thicker. All right, this piece here is going onto our front. And look, both ways will work. That way will work the same as that way. But I do like the darker black being on there. If you wanted to send this through the corrugated embossing folder, that would work very nicely. But I'm not going to today because I just think that this is a nice way to do it. Okay, so we've got our layers, okay, and that piece is going to sit like so. This is where these pieces come in, and you can get some extra pieces. You can have some plain black if that's what you want. Actually, you know what, that's what we're going to do. We will use the corrugated because I'm going to trim up a little bit of plain black and we're going to send it through. So that one there is about so big. Love my measuring stick here. Actually, 10.5 is the front of our cardstock, so let's go with 10. But we don't need it this fat, so we're going to trim it down. We'll go with 2 centimeters. Okay. So I've got 2 centimeters by 10 centimeters. And need that. We have that. And it's a 3D one, so we need our grey. Embossing folder is going to go through with our spine in first. Now the choice is yours whether you emboss it long ways or short ways, or even on the diagonal. Okay, the diagonal is going to look pretty smick and it's actually very forgiving. So we're going to do the diagonal. We just send it through there. It doesn't feel like it's doing absolutely anything. It's nice and easy. It's nice and smooth. I've picked up another piece of cardstock at the end. That there is Daffodil Delight and Granny Apple. Oh, no. Daffodil Delight and Lemon Lime Twist. I think. Might be Granny Apple Green. No, it's Daffodil Delight and Granny Apple Green. The Lemon Lime Twist, there wasn't enough colour change. It was similar to those two purples. Right, so yeah. Anyway, look at that. Now, you can't tell me that's not fabulous, if I do say so myself. Let me just have a quick swig of this. All right. Oh, that's a nice cup of tea that Tony's made. Okay, here's the tea lady at classes. So if anyone's interested in coming to classes, you know you're going to get a good cup of tea. If Maeve's on, Maeve's home, you're going to get a good what are they called? Coffee. But you know, she's working too much. Okay, and then if you wanted to, you could put one of these little pieces down there as well. But we've got ribbon, and I had forgotten that we've got ribbon, and ribbon is somewhere hiding on this table. Here it is. I found it. So we're going to pop some ribbon on here. But can you see how it's all coming together? This piece is actually going to end up going on flat. And I'm going to stick it, oh, am I going to stick it on now? Yes, I'm going to stick it on now. Now, if it's buckled a little bit, you can put a little bit more glue in there, because sometimes with the water, if you get a bit too generous with it, it can buckle a little bit. So just be aware of that when you're doing it. I am going to raise it a little higher so that these edges match that piece up there, which will make that bottom piece just that little bit deeper down here. And that is actually a deliberate thing that I'm doing. Okay. Why, hello there, Donna. How are you going, my friend? So, yes, so this is that nice texture. And look, you can see it's the same on both sides, and emboss and deboss, you can't really tell. Okay, and that piece is going to go down there. Now, I'm thinking that I will put my, where's my tear tape? Oh, I did have it here. Because I bought everything over with me deliberately. I checked before I started. I did the whole kit and caboodle. This is the way I like to do bows. There's a couple of different ways to do bows. This is my go-to way. I will put my ribbon around here. I'm going to tape it to the bottom a little bit. I don't necessarily want it in the middle. I just want it just slightly off center. It just does something to your eye, and I don't want it too tight. Okay, so that's actually something that's really important, that it's not too tight, because if you pull it too tight, it's not forgiving in any way, shape, or form. Because when I go to tie my bow on it, whoopsie, these are not normally my, when I go to tie my bow on, it's going to go like that, and that does not make for pretty. So one of these is looser than the other, so that I can come in later and loosen it a little bit. Slip that one in underneath there. Now, if you're not a ribbon tire of bows, you're not a bow fan, nobody says you have to have a bow, you can have a knot. But I'm going to do a bow just because I can, and I actually quite like them. I haven't tried fraying this ribbon, but it looks like it would actually fray quite nicely. You can tell I haven't tried, it's a new packet. All right, so that's often how I'll put a bow on. Now, if you need to make this bow do something in particular, sit in a particular way, a glue dot is your friend, and it will, because then you can actually move it around to sit where you want it to sit. Okay, and I'll just trim that one up there. And this one's frayed a little bit, so I'm just going to trim it up. And you can see that is all the ribbon that I've wasted. Because I had it on, left it on the spool, I have wasted no ribbon whatsoever, essentially. Okay. Now, do I need to let you go a little bit? I think I do. So what I'll just do is come under here with my Take Your Pick tool and just give that just a little bit of more rope, for want of a better way of putting it. Yep, see, now it's gone up there. Okay, so that piece there is going to get attached onto here with my dimensionals, okay, which are sitting right here. Okay, now our dimensionals will not stick to this very well, so because we're going to need to put dimensionals under these parts, I will need to take this up And I am loving this particular tool from the Crafters Tips for doing it. It just seems to grab everything so much better than the thicker one, which is on the other table now because I was using it to poke holes in something. The other one's great for poking holes. Okay, and you're going to sit there. Probably needs a little bit up here. So this is where your edges come in handy. Don't throw away your edges. All right. They come in very handy for all these little tiny bits where you want to stick something, but you don't want it to sit on something else. Okay, in this case, I didn't want it to sit on the ribbon. Sorry, excuse all my blue fingers in the way. And then I'm going to bring this bit down here and line her up. Okay, so that sort of brings our eye down a little bit. Yes, I've got a little bit of a gap there, which I don't particularly want. So I am going to use a piece of this and I am going to do a similar sort of cut to what I've done on the top piece, but I don't want it to go all the way across. I only want it to come to about there. And I'm going to sort of tuck it in underneath there, just so that I can get rid of that lip, okay? Or not a lip, but this bit here, I don't get off. I don't want that gap. See how there's that white gap? Yeah. Uh-oh, here comes another kid. And I'll just stick that one in underneath there. Ideally, I should have done that before, but that's okay, I didn't. And then this one here is going to sit quite nicely in between the two. Now, it's up to you whether you pop this on dimensionals or not. It will look fabulous on dimensionals, but when you're putting it on dimensionals, you're going to have to be aware that I'm only going to want to stick it on this piece here. The minis are really good for that, but so is this long, skinny piece. All right, so I'll just measure her up. He can't help himself. So we know she's home. Ollie, stop it. Oh, there's someone at the front door.
It's your
My husband is going to go and attend to that, so that's good. It wasn't a kid. All right. The dog was right to bark. Okay. All right, so You Are Seriously the Best is going to go on here. Actually, we could probably put that piece on there, but because it's the way it's going to sit, that will need two pieces. All right. So I will just get another piece and sit on that top one. Okay. Take that off there. Okay, so because of the way that one there is going to sit and where it's going to sit, now I've got to be careful where I put it. Okay, so this piece here is going to sit along my black edge and that other piece is going to butt up. It's not going to sit where I want it to sit, so I'm going to take that off. Okay, don't mind me. I'll just take that one off because I actually only I don't want it to sit that high. I didn't want it to sit all the way up there. I want it to sit about here. Okay. And then we just need to add some gemmy things. Right, so the gems there is in here, there's 160 gems. It's all part of the Botanical Textures Suite. It's a beautiful suite. All right. I've loved playing with other parts of it. This is the first time I've played with this paper. Okay, it's up to you what color you put on there, but the white ones will work, the black ones will work. And they're matte, so they look really cool. Okay, you don't need a lot. It just comes up quite nicely, if I do say so myself. Oh, look there, I just found the other a la carte. So you can have a lot of fun doing this with lots of different colors. Okay, so here we have Strawberry Slush and Timid Tiger, two of the new in colors. The only way you can get those is if you're a demonstrator or if you join. So just keep that in mind. Otherwise, you have to wait until the 6th of May and then everybody can get them. We have here Darling Duckling and Strawberry Slush with a little bit of Azure Afternoon thrown in for good measure. The splatters that are on here do look pretty cool, but on here I would do them in black. Now you can splatter in black. If you've got, this is a Stampin' Right marker. This is a basic black one. I'll just move that out of the way. To splatter, there's a couple of different ways that you can do it. You can tap the edge of you can tap here and it will do a really fine splatter. Or the way I like to do it is I just go along and I splatter. And I think the black is what going to work the best. Either that or you can use a splatter stamp. But I actually just think that this here is the most effective. All right. So I will just show you. Can you see them? They're really fine. And they're just pretty. And it would look good if you did it on the inside as well. But that's just to add a little bit of extra. So there it is, using the beautiful textured notes and their coordinating stamp set. All available in the online store currently as part of our online exclusive range. And there's some new stuff there, so make sure you check it all out. So let me just I'll put my face back up there. Let's see, where's my mouse? Here it is. If you are looking for some new stuff, can't see it in a printed piece of like one of our books, check out the online exclusives. There's a link in the description. They're always adding new stuff, essentially every second month. If you're a demo, you can check them out earlier. You can do pre-order. Okay. As it is, I'll catch up with you all next week. Thank you all so much for visiting with me and hanging with me today. It's been fun. I'll